Welcome to the conversation at airsafe.com. I'm your host, Dr. Todd Curtis. This episode will feature an interview I had with the BBC show The World Today on the 27th of December 2009. We discussed several issues in the recent attempted bombing on Northwest Flight 253, including some short-term security measures taken by the United States government and some longer-term issues with U.S. terrorist databases.
So another attempt to bring down an American airliner. The U.S. will certainly step up security measures. But amid the jitters and the nerves, will the right balance be struck? How to maintain sound judgment to avoid knee-jerk reactions and a descent into aggressive racial profiling, for example, which may infringe civil liberties. Dr. Todd Curtis is founder of airsafe.com, which campaigns for air safety. He joins us now live from Seattle. Dr. Curtis, what can air travelers expect in this short term?
Well, there are some issues that have been stated by the U.S. government. For example, until the 30th of December, incoming flights to the U.S., passengers could expect things such as pat-down searches in the specifically the upper thigh and torso areas, as well as rules about what you can and cannot do for the last hour of flight. Those will be temporary changes. It's unclear what long-term changes will be made by the TSA and other government organizations.
It does seem as though the authorities are always, if you like, one step behind what those who would do harm to aircraft have planned and put into action. I mean, the idea of pat-down searches concentrating on the thigh area seems a bit irrelevant, since that has been tried. Okay, it failed this time. It's unlikely to be tried again, surely.
It's unlikely to be tried again, and it's hard to second-guess the authorities since they're making these decisions based on information that's not entirely public. But one of the things that has to be guarded against is a copycat person, someone who hasn't thought this out, but merely wants to do something exactly like what was in the news, and may do so in the next few days. Certainly, these sorts of measures may protect against that, but it's problematic when it comes to longer-term issues.
And it has to be said, clearly there was a major lapse here. This person got through, apparently carrying high explosives. Questions will have to be asked about the security checks at Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam, from where the flight took off, but also from Lagos in Nigeria, where his journey originated. Should the questions be spread further afield?
Absolutely. For example, one of the things that came up is that in 2008, this suspect was granted a multi-entry visa into the United States. Yet in November of 2009, his name was entered into the lowest level of terrorist watch list. And about the same time, you also had his father going to the embassy in Nigeria saying, "My son may be a problem." Now, sitting back after the fact, it may be easy to say, well, gosh, couldn't they have just done a check on some other databases, perhaps seen that this person had some unusual travels, and then rescind his visa? That certainly would have prevented him from boarding that airplane, and that is one of the questions I hope will be asked.
And what is the problem with cross-referencing those clues and those watch lists? Because, as you say, there are those who are saying already that clearly he should have been stopped.
Well, there are several problems, one of them being you may have very good information coming in several different parts of the U.S. government. And although there are many procedures in place to coordinate information, sometimes if you get information from completely different quarters, it may be difficult to coordinate them before the fact. The investigation into this recent attempted bombing is still ongoing. For more information, please visit airsafe.com and airsafenews.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.